Thank you for joining us today for our third presentation on Women's History Month. Before we continue, I would like to remind everyone to please mute your microphones and turn your cameras off in order to avoid background noise and not to affect the bandwidth. You will get an opportunity to ask questions. We will let you know when. Please note that we are recording this presentation in order to continue sharing this great event. My name is Luz de los Reyes, and I am the Administrative Associate for Diversity and Inclusion Programs at El Paso Community College. Currently, DNI is under the direction of Dr. Andrew Peña, Executive Director for Human Resources. Joining us today, we also have Lee Vasquez, Coordinator for our program and our co-host for this great event. Before I turn it over to Lee, DNI would like to take a moment to thank Luz Roberts and Arlena Larcon for their enormous support in these events. Without the participation and support of our committee members, we wouldn't be able to make these events like this happen. We truly appreciate all of you helping make this success. Now I turn it over to Lee. Lee.
Thank you, Luz. These events would not be a success without the support of everyone. So we would like to thank our audience members for joining us today. We also, once again, we have a great mix of faculty, staff, students, and community members here with us. In a few minutes, we will be posting the Tejano Passport link in our chat room. Also, as the presentation goes on, we'll be posting some of the chants that our speaker will be presenting. I am so happy that today we are on location at the El Paso Art Association Crossland Gallery located at 500 West Paisano. Thank you to EPAA and Carla Zanelli for having us here today. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our great speaker for today, Neorah Garcia. She has been an El Paso resident for the past 37 years. She is a healing drum facilitator as well as a healing with the arts facilitator. Neorah is always continuing her education in sound healing and art. She is also a local artist who specializes in abstract art. Neorah is a former EPCC nursing student and current LVN nurse. She lives with her husband John and their beautiful Greyhound rescue, Sheba, and she has a son that lives in Tampa, Florida. She is here to introduce us to ways of healing and connecting to our inner self through Hebrew chant, drumming, and meditation. Welcome, Neorah. Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you. I'm honored. Shalom. I'm probably going to repeat a little bit of what Lee just said, but I'm Neorah Garcia. I've been an El Paso resident for the past 37 years. I'm a drum circle facilitator, a member of the Sound Healers Association, healing with the arts class facilitator, a local artist, and a nurse. So in the next hour, I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of what we do in my Hebrew chant and healing drum circles. Because this is Women's History Month, I want to introduce you to an ancient way of healing used by women around the world to heal themselves and their communities. Right now, we're living in uncertain and stressful times with the pandemic and the war situation. We are experiencing so much more stress than we usually experience. So we need to pause, catch our breath, and heal. The use of voice, rhythm, and music for healing is an ancient tradition. The frame drum, tof in Hebrew, was used mainly by women to honor the divine and in healing rituals in their communities. The voice is a catalyst for healing. So through the techniques of singing, sounding, humming, chanting, and drumming, we can experience a profound, holistic, and natural way to reduce stress and raise our vibration on many levels. We can experience a deeper connection to ourselves, to others, the universe, and to Creator. Chanting, humming, singing, music have been proven to help reduce our perception of pain, improve sleep quality, lower anxiety, and cortisol levels. High cortisol levels can cause inflammation. And music also enhances our immune system. Chanting is the repetition of a sacred word. It's also called a mantra. So it's the repetition of a sacred word or a phrase, which becomes a meditation. And it's a way of transforming words into doorways. They become entrances into expanded states of awareness. And from an expanded state of awareness, we can have access to the fullness of our power to bless, to heal both ourselves and others. Chloe Goodchild, the founder of the Naked Voice, states that intention plus vocalization equals manifestation. So when we're doing the chants, focus what your intention is going to be. Is it going to be for healing? Is it going to be for inner peace? Your intention and your voice brings manifestation, results. Every element of the universe is in a constant state of vibration, manifesting as light, sound, and energy. We are vibratory beings, but as humans, we can only perceive a fraction of the range of vibrations around us. So through chanting, we can tune our own consciousness, our own awareness, our own vibration into the awareness of the vibration which underlies and sustains all of creation. All of our emotions are vibratory frequencies, and our vibratory pattern determines how we feel about everything we are experiencing. We may not be able to choose the experiences we are going through, but we can choose how we feel in any given moment by choosing our thoughts and helping that thought or thoughts to be dominant. So by chanting, repeating a word or a phrase, we are focusing our mind, our thoughts on that word or phrase, and our vibrational frequency will elevate, which will also influence our emotions, how we feel. With chant, we can transform our anxiety, sorrow, stress, and feelings of unwellness or dis-ease into feelings of peace, joy, and well-being. The first thing I want to go through with you is some Bagel breathing and Bagel breathing meditation with the word Shalom. Bagel breathing enhances vagal tone. The vagal nerve is the longest cranial nerve in the body. It regulates the autonomic nervous system, which is the functions our bodies perform without us thinking about it: our heart rate, our vascular tone, blood pressure, respiratory rate, and digestion. The vagal nerve starts in the brain stem just behind the ears, travels down each side of the face and neck, and across the chest through the abdomen. Vagus is Latin for wandering, and indeed, this nerve wanders through the body, networking the brain with the stomach and digestive tract, the lungs, heart, the spleen, intestines, liver, and kidneys, not to mention a range of other nerves that are involved in speech, eye contact, facial expressions, and even our ability to tune into other people's voices. It's an essential part of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for calming our organs and our bodies after the stressful fight or flight adrenaline response to danger and stress. Having a stronger, more tuned vagal nerve means our bodies can relax faster after a stressful event and even reduce anxiety. So vagal breathing for just 5 minutes a day can make a huge difference. In practice, even longer, can help reduce blood pressure, help balance the endocrine system as well. Research shows that a high vagal tone helps the body to regulate blood sugar levels, helps reduce the likelihood of diabetes, stroke, and cardiovascular disease. Inflammation is a necessary part of our immune system, and it helps the body to heal after an injury. But it can damage our organs and our blood vessels if it persists when it's not needed. When our bodies are under continuous stress, stress chemicals are released into our bodies, which leads to chronic inflammation and dis-ease within the body. One of the vagal nerve's jobs is to reset our immune system and switch off the production of chemicals and hormones that fuel inflammation. Having a low vagal tone means this regulation is less effective and inflammation can become excessive. Latest research also shows that high vagal tone has a positive effect with rheumatoid arthritis, digestive disorders such as Crohn's and IBS, autoimmune disorders, fibromyalgia, PTSD, anxiety, and more. So I'm going to ask you if you have a place to sit comfortably. I usually just put my hands on top of my lap. So we're just going to sit here, close our eyes, and just observe your natural breath. Allowing your abdomen, though, to expand on inhalation. Come back in towards your core on exhalation. So we're going to continue this for a few breaths, just so that it starts to feel natural to you. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale with an open mouth. Now, as we inhale through our nose, we're going to create what's called ocean breath. You know how the ocean, you can hear the wave sound? We create an ocean breath by drawing our breath in through our sinuses towards the back of our sinus cavities, like a deep inhalation. And exhale through our mouth with the soft ha or ah sound. So it's going to sound like this. Of course, don't forget, on exhalation, your abdomen comes in, draws in through your core. So to try this, ready? Inhale. Exhale. Again. Now we'll take a few breaths, focusing on the exhalation. The inhalation, we keep it the same. After our inhalation, we're going to pause and hold it for 3 seconds. Then we will exhale, draw our abdomen in towards our core. The exhalation needs to be longer than our inhalation. That's very effective for the Bagel exercise. One more. Hold your breath. Doesn't that feel good? It just resets us. It resets me and it centers me and grounds me. And this is great because I have anxiety performing, so this is helping me. So I hope it's helping you. The purpose of making the ha or the ah sound when we exhale is that it's an added bonus to toning the vagal nerve. Listening, making the ha or ah sound or any type of sound, making it and listening to it helps strengthen the vagal nerve. So now we're going to do Shalom meditation, incorporating the Vagal breathing. Shalom is a very, very powerful word. Let's talk about meditation. The word meditation is derived from 2 Latin words, meditare, to think or to dwell upon, to exercise the mind, and medere, to heal. Shalom in Hebrew means much more than just peace. It also means connectedness, wholeness, oneness, and completedness. So when we're chanting the Shalom, we're focusing on oneness, the oneness of you, us, and Creator, and the connectedness that we have to all of humanity, to all of the universe. The second part of the word Shalom is the Om sound. The Om sound in Eastern traditions is thought to be the vibrational frequency of the universe, the primordial sound of creation. Chanting the Om helps calm the mind and clear our minds of extraneous thoughts, creates a feeling of calm and peace. The vibration created when chanting Om vibrates the palate, the roof of the mouth, which activates the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and the pituitary gland, which is also called the master gland, which regulates the endocrine system. The vibration also stimulates the pineal gland, the third eye chakra. In Jewish tradition, that correlates with Chokhmah and Bina on the Sephirotic tree. Chokhmah and Bina mean wisdom and understanding. The pineal gland, the third eye chakra, is supposed to enhance spiritual experiences, our connection to each other and to Creator, and enhance our intuition. And also, the pineal gland, a little unknown fact most people don't know, also produces DMT, which is a hallucinogenic. And most of us, our pineal gland is not functioning very well at all. It's clouded with like a calcium deposit over it, let's say. So through meditation, we can open up and enhance our pineal gland, enhance our intuition and our connection to the universe. I'm going to demonstrate the Shalom meditation. So first of all, I'm going to take a deep breath in. So inhale through the nose deeply, and then shal, and on the L, the O sound, your tongue should be behind your front teeth. At that point, you hold your breath for 3 seconds like we did in the breathing exercise. Then the Om sound while our abdomen comes in towards our core. Now we're just going to honor the silence after that. That silence is a very powerful feeling. So now we're going to go into the Hebrew chants and the drum. I use Hebrew chant in my drum circle as a form of meditation. I use it daily for myself as a form of prayer and meditation. And there are many forms of meditation. Meditation does not have to take long periods of time. It doesn't require any spiritual knowledge at all, or a belief in a God or a higher power. A broader definition of meditation includes that any time you are consciously aware of the present moment. For example, observing your breath, which we've done here, sitting in silence, listening to your own heartbeat, walking alone, and much more. I chant also when I'm cooking on Friday nights before the Sabbath. Sometimes I make bread, although I haven't made that in a long time. But when I'm eating the bread, I use that as a time to pray and meditate. And I chant in Hebrew because that is the ancient language of my Jewish culture. And I believe also in the ancient Jewish teachings that state that the Hebrew language is sacred and the language of creation. There is healing power in the Hebrew language. I've had many people after drum circles weep and tell me, oh my gosh, I've never experienced anything like this before. It's her soul made a connection. There is healing power in the Hebrew language, and one does not need to be Jewish to benefit from the healing power of Hebrew chant. Now, I would like you to follow along and chant and drum with me. You don't have to use a drum if you don't have one. You can use your body. You can use a cookie sheet, a pot. And if you would rather just sit in silence and listen to the chant, that's also healing. You will benefit from that. I'm going to be, when I use the drum, I use very simple drum rhythm patterns. I don't do any complex drumming because this is meditation, and I keep it easy so that people can follow along. The first prayer meditation that I'm going to do is called the Moda Ani. This is the first prayer that Jewish people say every morning before we even get out of bed. And it's thanking God for returning our souls back into our bodies and giving us another day of life. Now, at the end of each chant, we're going to honor the silence that follows. And it's because it is in this silence and that insight and healing are the most profound. Vicky Dodd, founder of Sound Body Productions, states that listening is the most important part of sounding. I love that. I'm going to do the Modani prayer two different ways with two different drums. I'm going to use my mother drum first, like a Native American style drum. Moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'chaya, ruach chai v'chaya, moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'chaya, ruach chai v'chaya, moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha, ruach chai v'chaya, ruach chai v'chaya. Now I'm going to do the Modani with my favorite frame drum. Sorry. Okay. Things happen when you go live. This is a 22-inch Remo Renaissance head frame drum, and I love it because it's very resonant. Another way I do the Modani prayer is I sing into the frame drum. Moda ani lefanecha, melech chai v'chaya, moda Ruach Chai V'Chaya Moja Ani Lefanecha Melech Chai V'Chaya Mojani Lefanecha Melech Chai V'Chayim Shehekazar Tabi Nishpati B'Kamr Rabba Munatecha. Now, when I'm chanting the Modani, I just do the first, I'm doing just the Modani. I don't do the whole prayer. I don't do entire songs or prayers when I chant. I just use a few words or a small phrase, sentence. The next chant is called Hini Matov, and it's a popular Jewish chant, song actually, that values, it's part about being part of a community, value being part of a community connected to one another. How good it is for brothers and sisters to sit together is basically what the chant means. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achayot Gam Yachad. Behold how good this is. Behold how good this is. Die, 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 da, da, die, die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 da, da, die, die. Die, 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 die. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achayot Gam Yachad. Behold how good this is. Behold how good this is. Die, 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 da, da, die, die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 da, da, die, die. Die, 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 die. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Manayim Shevet Achayot Gam Yachad. Behold how good this is. Behold how good this is. Die, 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 da, da, die, die. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 da, da, die, die. Die, 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 die. Hine Matov. Hine Matov. Do you feel how powerful that silence is if you're participating? And even if you're not, do you feel the silence? Do you feel how powerful that is? You feel that energy? Amazing. The next one that I do a lot in my healing drum circles is Reb Zalman's chant. Reb Zalman, Chapter Shalomi, was one of the founders of Jewish Renewal Movement. And this is his chant. And it's called Echad Yachid Umeyuchad, which translates into every single one, each one joined and connected to the one. Another method of playing this drum is between the legs. Echad Yachid Umeyuchad, 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 Echad Yachid Normally, I have these healing circles live in person, and we form a circle. And once we get going, you know, and I carry the chants usually longer than I'm doing here with the limited time. We carry the chants longer, and then when the chant stops, we're drumming. We're drumming, or we're using a hand instrument, and it can last a few minutes, 5 to 10 minutes each chant. During that time, there's entrainment. We start becoming in sync with one another, even though we're not following a melody. We're just playing, and usually they follow my lead on the drum. But everybody's doing their own thing, and for some reason, it just sounds amazing. There's entrainment in it, and it's just beautiful. I don't know. I feel entrainment even when I'm doing these on Zoom. I feel it. When I have my drum circles on Zoom, I can see the women and the people that are participating, and you can still feel that energy. And the next one is called AA, Asher AA, which translates into I am, I was, I will be what I will be, I will become what I choose to become, I am the existing one. In Hebrew, there's many layers to meanings to words. It's a very spiritual language, and like that phrase, AA Asher AA, it's multifaceted. And it, as you go deeper into the meanings, they get more esoteric. This phrase is the first of 3 responses given to Moses when he asked for God's name, which is found in the book of Exodus. Asher, The next one is one of my favorites. It's called Ayeka Hineni. Where are you? Here I am. Ayeka means where are you? And Hineni means here I am. It's found in the book of Genesis when God calls out to Adam, because Adam's hiding, in the Garden of Eden because they were bad, him and Eve. God says, where are you? And Adam says, here I am, Hineni. But I also take this to mean a few other things when I'm chanting. Ayeka, where are you? Where are you, God? When you're having times of trouble and stress, where are you? Where are you, Creator? Hineni. The answer is Hineni, here I am. Here I am. I'm here already, everywhere. And within yourself. Also, asking yourself, Ayeka, where am I? Where are you? Hineni, here I am. I'm in the present moment. It's a very powerful chant. I'm using what's called a shruti box or a drone. It's like a mini, I don't know if you've ever seen the harmoniums at yoga festivals, and they're chanting kirtan mantras, and they're using this big box, like piano keys on it. This is just a very small, simple version of that. It's portable. The next thing we're going to do is what I call Primal Chant. And I like to do this with my frame drum. Primal Chant or voicing, just your naked voice. letting your emotions come out uninhibited. Whatever sounds come out, let them come out. Scream, holler, yell. Of course, don't do this while you're driving. Don't do this while you're driving. Anyway, this is a very good way to release pent-up emotions that are negative, that don't serve us for the good, such as anger, resentment, jealousy, feelings of hurt. Just let them all out. And at the end of that, start laughing. We do this in my drum circle. You force yourself to laugh, actually. When you start forcing yourself to laugh, then you start laughing naturally. So when we're in a drum circle, of course, it's easier because we're all laughing. And then after a few minutes, we all are really laughing, like we're not forcing ourselves anymore. We're all laughing at each other, laughing. Laughter is a very, very good therapy. In Spanish, I believe it's called risa terapia, and it's part of the native Mexican healing tradition. So just let it out. Think of things that have happened to you that you just need to get out. Anger, frustration. Up. That is a lot more fun when you're doing that with other people, with you. But it'll keep you a smile on your face for a while after also. I have two more chants, and they're both specifically healing chants in the Jewish tradition. The first one is called El Na Refanallah. It's an ancient Jewish healing prayer. When Moses' sister Miriam is stricken with what's called sa'arit in the Hebrew Bible, which I guess is translates to leprosy, but it's not really leprosy. But it's a skin condition that she's afflicted with because she's speaking Lashon Hara, which is evil speech, about Moses. So Moses cries out, El Na Refanallah, God, please heal her. It's found in the book of Numbers. And this is the most famous healing prayer in the Jewish tradition. El Na Refanallah, El Na Refanallah, El Na Refanallah, El Na Refanallah. The last chant, the healing prayer, called Ani Adonai Rofecha, which means I am Adonai, your healer. Adonai is one of the names, Hebrew names, that we use for God. Adonai, Hashem, Elohim. This one is a more lively chant. And this one is best done also in a drum circle with other people. Ani Adonai Rofecha, 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 Ani Adonai At the end of our healing sessions, I always close with a closing prayer. Help us, Hashem, to carry the positive healing energy we experienced during this healing session into the rest of the week and throughout the weekend. Help us to stay focused on that energy during all of our activities and encounters with others. Let our feet stay grounded to this earth, and let our steps guide us to where we need to go. Let our hearts be open to love of self and others, compassion and connection to all living creatures, human and non-human. Let our hearts be open to receiving love as well as giving it. Let our voices speak words of truth, kindness, and blessings, and let us refrain from being critical of ourselves and others, and may we not speak lashon hara, evil speech. Let our hands be used to give a loving touch, comfort, and support to those who need it. Let our eyes see the beauty of our world and all that is good in ourselves and in others. And let our eyes protect us from the evil eye, lashon ha'im, of others. Let our ears be open to listening with empathy and compassion. And let our minds be free of worries. Let our minds only think of the good in ourselves and of others. And let our minds be open to learning, understanding, and sharing with others. I guess we'll open this up for some questions, if anybody has any questions.
Yes, thank you, Neorah. I think that was very, very interesting and very spiritual. I did want to mention some stuff as we open up to our audience also. If they have any questions or anything like that, feel free to type them in the chat room or raise your hand, and then we'll say your name, and then you can ask your question. But I did want to say thank you so much for everything. One of the things that I felt was that with the first one that you mentioned, Mada Ami, I believe that's how you say it. I felt like a connection right away, and that's the thing that I started to feel emotions as you were doing it. I think that in a lot of times, and I hope that we can do this in person, because I think the connection that people can feel is very good. Yeah. And I think it's very important that you also mention silence, honoring the silence in our lives and everything like that, taking some time for that. Is there anything else you would like to say about that, or anything about like connecting or the silence?
The silence thing, maybe. Our lives are so full of noise. If you have kids, the husband, the kids, the dishes, the dishwasher, the dogs, the cars, the traffic, work places. We don't really take the time to honor the silence. And that is where most of our insights come from. So when you're meditating and you're honoring the silence, if you're meditating on a problem or a situation you don't know how to deal with, it's in that silence that most of your insights are going to come, because your mind is free. And I don't know, listening to your internal voice, the divine voice, however you want to call it. I call it listening to the divine voice, the voice within me. It's very powerful.
Yeah, and that's one thing that even here, even though we're doing this virtually, one thing that I say is that there was a connection. I did feel that connection, and I could just imagine like being in person and doing this. It's even more powerful. One of the other things is that one of the other chants that you kind of mentioned was that the one about letting out your emotions, just whatever comes out and everything like that, and then laughing. I think that's very important, because a lot of times we carry a lot of stuff in our heads, and I always tell people, let it out, write it out, or say something or whatever. And I think that's very good, because it helps us. It helps us out. Yeah.
In the Jewish tradition, in the Hasidic tradition, there's a term. It's called hisboridot, and hisboridot. And it's ancient, where you go off by yourself in a forest or wherever, at the beach, just off by yourself, and you just scream. You just let it out, and you talk to God like you're talking to a friend, and you just scream and let it all out. It's very therapeutic. Of course, again, don't do this in the workplace or anything like that, because
well, maybe you'll get somebody off guard and they make them laugh, and you'll have a good time in the office. But is there any questions from our audience? We want to open it up to you all. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask. There might be something in our chat. Brianna, she said, is it possible to have more info about the drum circle in person to participate in someday? Yes, that's a thing that we hope to join up with Neorah one time and do something at EPCC. But if people are looking into possibly joining you all here at the EPAA or Neorah, I don't know if you have different sessions going on, where can we reach you?
I have them on Zoom. And I try to have them once a month or once every 2 months. What I do is I put it on Facebook and make the event on Facebook. So if anyone is interested, to give me, you can put my email in the chat, and then they can email me and state their interest in future drum circles. Then that way I'll have their email, and I can send them the information that way.
Yeah, and what we could do also is that I don't have your email right now with me, but if they'll contact us at our office, and I'll give some information on our DNI office, we'll make sure that we'll connect with you and with Carla Zanelli, and we'll get that information, because I think it's very good.
I'm on Facebook as Neorah Elaine Tremblay Garcia. So if they just want to hook up with me on Facebook and do a friend request, and then that way they'll have access to what I post. So
All right,
they can do it that way.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah. Is there anybody else from the audience that would like to ask anything or make a comment? Not right now? Okay. So what we're going to be doing is that, thank you, Neorah. Is there any last words or anything like that that you would like to?
I have something in case, to go over, just in case we had some extra time. I want to talk about blessings. Blessings are another way that you can meditate. Using blessings can help us apply positive thoughts to ourselves and others, and can be used for healing. Blessings can be used as a daily morning offering to set the tone for your day. The Marcia Folk, in her book, The Book of Blessings, says, for me, prayer is a way to become more deeply aware of my connectedness to the greater whole of being. It is a reaching inward and outward at once, inward to the core of myself, to feelings, thoughts, in an ineffable sense of beingness, and outward to my participation in something much larger than myself. And I totally resonate with that. You can create your own blessings, and you can personalize them according to your life and your beliefs. You can use a prayer book. You can use the Bible. The Book of Psalms, for example, is very famous. I use a lot of chants from phrases from the Book of Psalms. And your blessing may only be just a sentence or two, but it's meant to touch your heart and remind you of what's really important to you and what inspires you whenever you hear it. Blessings can help us become free both to receive and to give fully. Yoel Khan states that, like our prayers, blessings are aspirational. We express in word our deepest yearnings. A blessing is an expression of hope. So you can you make your own prayer. You can put them in a journal also. Write them down, and you can say them in the morning, afternoon, evening, whatever. And some of the blessings can become like mantras, positive affirmations to lift yourself up, lift your vibrational energy up.
Thank you so much, Neorah. Once again, it was a pleasure having you here with us today. I do want to say thank you to EPAA and Carla Zanelli also for having us. It was great to be here on location, so I think that's very good. So we thank you so much for that. I just want to go over some last things. Please know that next week we'll have our last Women's History Month presentation, which is March 30th from noon to 1. So join us for Leticia Arellano. She's going to be talking about breaking the rules in our 40s. She's a makeup enthusiast, so she'll give you some tips, and she'll talk a little bit about her life lessons that she's learned. So make sure to join us next week for that. Also, we have a reminder that our Black History Month scholarship is still going on. You have until March 31st to apply for that scholarship. And we do have the women's scholarship also. That's going to be all the way to April 29th. So make sure to visit our EPCC scholarship webpage in order to make sure to visit our EPCC scholarship webpage in order to apply for that scholarship. Once again, that's up until April 29th. So make sure you go there. We do want to say thank you to the EPCC Foundation for helping Diversity and the Women's History Month committee in providing these scholarships. And Luz.
Oh, thank you, Lee. And also, I want to take the time to say thank you to Ms. Garcia and Carla Sanelli, El Paso Art Association. Thank you very much. And here is our contact information for Dr. Peña, Lee's information, and my information, phone numbers, and email addresses. Also, follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram. And for any future workshops, if you would like to participate via volunteer, please visit our website, epcc.edu/services/diversity. Also, thank you so much.